all my lows and all my highs. I'm trying to see the light, it's just quiet. All the greed in life. Cause you want a piece of the pie. All that shit is bleeding me back. I don't want a piece of the life. But I'm just easy, easy. Don't hurt the body, let me get it on. You know I'm holding out for the G60. I should wanna lose in the TV. Bottom on the easy, easy. Don't hurt the body, let me get it on. You know I'm holding out for the G60.
Good evening. I hope you had a great weekend. We're just going to talk about some top-down analysis for the week and some instruments to look out for the week. So we'll start off with Dixie. So those of you on Twitter, I was personally looking at a reversal on Dixie. Um, the Dixie around this point here, I was expecting a reversal, but Friday we had a breakout to the upside. So this changes the structure completely. So currently the market is very bullish. We had very significant pushes on the USD pairs. You had if you look at Euro USD, we had a very big tank to the downside. GBP USD, the same thing. AUD USD, the same thing. So we can't get onto USD trades now. We have to look out for what is next for the USD. So currently, I'm not going to talk about the USDs. If you are in sales on USDs, you keep on holding your sales. But there are some opportunities that are still available. So one of those opportunities would be on the JPY. So the JPY was something I was also looking for. I was looking for a reversal around here. Those of you on Twitter, we see that price pushed up all the way here. After a rejection of this level here, we pushed all the way here. But now let's look at a bigger picture. If you look at a bigger picture and the market structure here, this is what we see. We see that all the way from here, we have this here. Like basically in general, you can see that this push that happened on Friday is a test of this region here. So I'm still looking out for price to push to the downside, but you have to be careful because we've currently taken out this level, which means price can actually be bullish. But we we are not going to react to this break here because at this level here it doesn't look like a break. We are testing this level here, and that level here. So we could get this. So what will be the plan here? The plan here, or how I would approach this, is to draw a trend line here. So you want to see price take out this level here for a reversal on the JPY pairs. So if you translate this onto the chart, this is what you are looking at. So the JPY is currently, especially if you are looking at the short-term time frame, it is bearish. So at this point here, there are two things that are looking to happen. So this push that we are talking about, let me go back to JPY basket. This push that we are talking about here could also be like this. We could get this, a retest of this level, and we finally get a break retest for price to continue pushing up. That means that JPY will continue pushing down. So that is one scenario you need to keep an eye on. The other scenario to keep an eye on is where price breaks to the downside, right? And long term, I am for that because that looks like more potential for the trend to continue. And in that case, we will be looking at JPY basket coming here. So that is one reason why I am for the push to the downside on the baskets, and that would translate to a push to the upside on the other JPY pairs. But if you look at the JPY pairs themselves, you see that they are switching to a bearish structure. Like you see here, this is a low, this is another low. And you can see the switch happening, which means that if price on the JPY basket fails to stay on top of that level, that is going to cause a reversal. So on the JPY pair, this is what you look at. This is your key zone here. This is what you're looking for. So if price pushes back up and it stays inside this zone and it fails to break above, this is where you load sells on all the JPY. So you are looking for a pullback like this on AUD JPY to sell this from here. But if it breaks to the upside, you wait for a retest to the upside. Whilst doing this, you are still looking at what the basket is doing. So you want to see for JPY to the basket is going to drop for sure, right? But the question is if it's going to stay here and push up or break to the downside. And that is why you should expect the pullback on the JPY. So for instance, if you're looking at NZD JPY, this is how I treat it, right? We have this push here, but what you want to do is to draw another zone at a retest level here and look out for either something like that or a break to the upside retest and a push to the upside. So that is where I'm at this moment with the JPY pairs. It's a crossroad. The bearish push, the JPY selling at this point makes a lot of sense. Let me take you to the 10-hour time frame and you would understand why the sells make a lot of sense. But I'm looking at a potential reversal to the upside because of what the basket is looking at now. But the sell makes a lot of sense. So if you're looking at NZD currently, NZD currently with the current price that we have here, you see that this is a very clean zone here. The price is looking to tap into and then reverse. And on the 1 hour, that is the same zone that we are looking at. So the sells actually make a lot of sense. But the reason why you also need to put at the back of your mind that the reversal to the upside is possible is because of the structure we currently have on JPY basket. So you mark up and then wait for how the market to react to take your trade. This is Sunday, Monday. So if you don't get into any trade tomorrow, or this is JPY, depending on how the Asian session go, by New York, you should be able to know where the market is looking to go. So patience, don't rush into any long-term trade. When price is here, depending on how it reacts here, then that would be good because the sell is also good actually. Just that the buy would be a long-term push because the buy would be looking to come all the way back here to this previous level here, right? But the sells also could be long-term, but with the current structure here where we still have this, and this, the buys makes a lot of sense. And that is why I would wish for the push up to happen. But I'm not going to take any trade. I'm going to wait out for both conditions because currently the JPYs are bearish. We actually had the bullish JPYs on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we had a flip on Friday. So we are keeping it as bearish. And if the bearish scenario happens, it's most likely going to sell till Wednesday until we get a reversal for the JPY. So that's how I'm treating the JPY. I'm treating them as bearish now, but you can't sell now. You would have to wait to see how price react to this zone here. So for AUD this is what you're looking at. You want to see how price reacts into this zone here to sell. NZD the same thing. You want to see how price reacts here to sell. If it breaks up, then it goes to the other scenario we talked about. So if you look at GJ actually looks super bearish. With GJ, you can see the market pushed up, tested this region, and sold very long term. Similar situation, but with this, I would expect price to go a little bit higher. So this is how I'll treat the GBP JPY. So let's go to the high time frame and see if we have any significant levels, right? So we have this zone here on the 8-hour time frame. So that makes a lot of sense. So for GJ is actually giving us some good idea of what the JPYs could do, because if you look at this, what this is saying on the 8-hour time frame currently is that this is most likely going to pump up here, and within this zone here, you're looking to sell back into this zone here, right? But say price gets to this level here and it fails to break, and it aligns with the AUD JPY and NZD JPY we just looked at, then you'll be looking for a sell from here to the downside here, right? But a push up here makes a lot of sense. It's a very good sell from that level. So if you're looking at your fibs from current price, that is if the current low holds, you have this push from here. So this level here is it's a 50% retracement, which is very decent. This zone is a 50%. So this is what I'm talking about. We have a 50% pullback here, and this could see price coming back into the 127. So this looks decent. You can see it's the same kind of scenario that you see with all the JPY pairs. So this is a zone on the zone on the 8-hour time frame, and this is the same zone on the 1-hour time frame. So this makes a lot of sense. So if price don't break above, this is bearish. So you wait for the pullback to sell. If you're already selling, you can hold your trade or take some profit and wait for the pullback. The only time you'll be worried about closing your trade is if price takes out this level. Then the scenario to the upside is most likely going to happen. But you need to keep a very close eye on the JPY basket. Because this scenario makes a lot of sense. Unless we reject here and push to the upside, then you ignore the potential of JPY pairs pushing to the upside. So let's look at CAD JPY. CAD JPY is actually still bullish. You can see from here, CAD JPY is still bullish. This is the last intermediate level high here. We have a low, we have a high. Price broke the high, low, and we are here. So if the JPY starts selling, this is something that will present a lot of very good opportunity because it is yet to sell. So in this case, you are looking at something like that. If we decide to sell, so keep a very close eye on CAD JPY because the other JPYs have sold. This is something that is pending, but don't sell now because currently it is very bullish. This is a bullish structure. Right? If you draw this level here and this level here, we're currently ranging broke out and we are inside here. But it presents a lot of opportunity because when it takes out this EMA level here and even this level here, the next major level is here. And this is from here. That is 175 pips, which is very significant. Say we get a push to the upside and the JPYs are weak and you're looking to sell this from here to here, it's 330 pips, which is very significant. So keep a very close eye on CAD JPY because it has not sold yet. And this is the same kind of scenario we have on USD JPY. Where is USD JPY? USD JPY. Right. USD JPY is still bullish because the dollar is super. No, it has nothing to do with the dollar because because the dollar is strong. Yes, because the dollar is strong, it is pushing this to the upside. So we can see this is actually even more bullish than CAD JPY. So keep a very close eye on this because when they switch, especially when the dollar becomes weak, then this would be a very decent one to keep an eye on. Right? It's currently forming this flag pattern. So you want to see that breakout retest of any significant structure here. And if you sell, this is this level here. So for this to happen again, going back to the JPY basket, you want to see a push up rejection for the upside. So if JPY basket pushes up, that is when you expect the JPYs to push to the downside. Right? I hope it makes sense. Any questions for me up until this point here? One pair that I'm currently in a trade now is Euro AUD. So Euro AUD is bullish. And I'm looking at a potential retest of this level here. So from current price, I'm actually this is my entry here. So prices just come back to my entry. So this looks decent to me. We currently have this here. So we have the low and this is the market structure. It is not the best structure that we have here, but it's still very decent and I'm bullish. The only time I wouldn't be bullish on this pair is if price takes out this level here. if price takes out this level here. But based on current price, this is what I'm expecting. So this is something that you can, if you're looking for something that you want to buy now, this is something you can buy now, Euro AUD. So what I would do is put my trade here, stop loss below this low. Because you are given a very good amount of stop loss, the risk reward is not that huge, but it's still significant. This is two is to 2.37, which is still very significant. So this is a good trade that you can go for, and it's 100 and almost 140 pips. So very decent one here. But if price takes out this level, then that trade is gone. So let's see how price reacts here. If you don't want to risk it, what you want to do is to wait for a rejection of here, because the advantage is that if you wait for the rejection and you get in, price is not going to come back down again. So you can reduce your stop loss here, just below this level here, and you have a very decent risk reward than those of us buying here. Because price can go lower, you would have to put the stop loss all the way here, and then your TP inside this zone here. So the Euro AUD makes a lot of sense. GBP AUD is not something I'm going to touch right now, even though it looks like we can get a reversal from here. We can get a reversal from here, but this is just the middle of nowhere. The only way you would want to look for potential buy from here is to draw some trend line like that. And if we take it out, then that is where you might consider taking a buy from here. But based on current price, this is bearish, and the only time you'll be looking to buy is if the market structure shifts. And another reason why you need to be cautious is that if you check Euro GBP, you see Euro GBP is very bullish. So for that to happen, it means Euro GBP needs to switch to the downside like this. So there is no sign that this is going to happen. So especially for the GBP pairs that pushed a lot due to this push to the upside, you need to be careful. So you would have to do something like this. And when price breaks this level like that, it will come back for the reset of where the move started from here. So that is something that is significant here. And if you want to be looking at the potential trade on the GA and GN has very similar structures. Currently, it is bearish, right? But because of where it is sitting now, that is what I'm saying. There could be the potential for a reversal, but don't buy, because buying here is a very bad decision to make now. So even though there is a potential for a bullish bias, what would you want to do here is to draw a trend line from here, just like I said on GBP AUD. So you want to see here, if price breaks out, then you buy. And this is significant because you're the next major level here, intermediate level here. And this is GBP and ZD. So you know this is very significant. From the breakouts, this is 330 pips. So very decent. So the major trade here for me is Euro AUD at this point. The next thing I'm looking at is to waiting out for the JPYs to decide and make a decision, and I'll take the trades. Those of you on Twitter, you know I like trading the JPYs, so it will be the major currencies I'll be trading this week, but I'll wait for the setups to come to me based on those levels that I'm looking at. Another JPY pair to keep an eye on would be CHF JPY. So same thing, CHF JPY has run into this zone here. Very significant. So you could actually risk buying some JPY, but that is not the best approach. You need to wait for the pullbacks. And if price stays below here, then you sell again. But it makes a lot of sense for the JPYs to push up and then sell. But like I said, the best trade would be the sells if price fails to break above here. But this could also be possible. Breaks above and then rejects here. Then you'll be looking to buy. But the likelihood of that happening is very low. But again, keep an eye on the JPY basket to see what that goes. Because like I said earlier on, if you break below retest, that is a sell, right? Let's go and look at Euro NZD, very similar to Euro AUD, very similar. The structure, it's a very key retest of this zone here. This is a high, and This is where price is trading between this range now. Right. So at this point here, the structure is a little different from what Euro AUD is doing. But if you narrow this down, if you break it down to the very simplest structure, this is what you have. You have this low and this high here. And the idea is that price shouldn't take out this low here. So you have this, this, and that. And price is currently coming here. So you want to see price reject from this level here. But the best way to actually go into this trade would be to have, like, you want to see some bullish structures here. So just connecting the trend lines at the top here looks like a very decent play here. So you look out for price rejecting here, breakout, and then you buy. And again, when this happens, you are targeting the highs here on this. So this would be how I will play and I'll play Euro NZD. For instance, if we break here and we rate this here, I'm not going to sell, but that should tell you that the buy is no more valid, right? Let me see any question for me. Okay, there is no question. So what I'm going to do now is quickly scan through the market and see if there is any opportunity that is currently available that I've mixed right now. So GU, UJ, AU, Singapore dollar, Japanese yen makes a lot of sense for this to push up. But this is explaining why the JPYs could have a pullback. So if you're looking to buy any of the JPYs, even though it's a very risky trade, what I would recommend to buy would be GBP JPY or CHF JPY because they are sitting on a very decent level. But that's not the best trade. The best trade is to wait for the pullback. But if you are willing to risk it, this is something decent. CHF JPY is 89 pips, and you'll be risking 46 pips. So that is like 1:2 ratio. So if it makes sense, you can actually buy this because of what CHF JPY is doing. So you can buy CHF JPY, Euro JPY, and GBP JPY, but you should be ready to risk. So on Euro JPY, this is 58 pips to make 104 pips. It's not that great, but the best trade would be waiting to take the sell from here. But if you are so desperate and you want to take some trade, you can buy the JPYs and catch at least 100 pips on Euro JPY, CHF JPY, and GBP JPY. So, like I said, I'll quickly scan through and see if there are some opportunities. Euro JPY, Euro AUD is decent. If you're looking for that trade that you should buy now, it is Euro AUD. GBP, okay, there's nothing here. Nothing here. Well, CAD JPY, just because the other JPYs are looking to push up, CAD JPY looks like a decent price, a decent pair to buy short term, especially if you're looking to buy GJ, Euro JPY, CHF JPY, but don't buy all the JPYs. Look at the one that has the best risk reward ratio and buy. Don't buy all of them because the movement is the same thing. So what you are doing is just exposing yourself to multiple JPY positions. Right? I don't see anything here. Euro CHF. So Euro CHF is looking interesting to me. So if you look at this, let's break down the structure here. The structure that we have here, this is what we have. So this is our last major low. This is the high here. And price is currently trading between this level here. Okay, I would say this low here. So it's currently kind of in a range, but it's still bullish. We are still bullish because this push here took out this high here. So this is the major push here, and price is currently in this phase here. So long term, if you actually want to play this, you want to see price take out this level here. And if it does, this is what is going to happen. But for this to happen, this means the euro needs to be very, 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 very strong. Right? But another way to go about this is to draw a trend line here. So you want to see a takeout, and then your trade is all the way to this level here. So keep an eye on this. It looks super bullish to me, especially looking at the current price here, where we have a very strong rejection of the EMAs here. The and there, and the reaction of this zone here. So it makes a lot of sense for you to expect something like this, right? GBP not looking interesting. AUD makes a lot of sense. It makes sense for this to switch to the downside here. So keep an eye on this. Should keep an eye on this area here for this switch. So AUDCHF is very significant. You should keep an eye on this for that potential switch. And you could get something like this. And this looks like a potential 74 pips. And because this is AUDCHF, you'll be risking about, say, 20-25 pips. So that is very decent. It's almost 1:4 risk to reward ratio. So keep an eye on this. AUDJPY, JPYK, don't bother about that for now. NZDCHF is also very, very similar, but I would be careful with this because the price action looks a little tricky. We are currently sitting on this level here, which is telling us that we could switch here. But if you look at the way price is also doing, we could also get this and that. So be patient and wait for price reaction here on AUDCHF here around this zone here. When that happens, then you look for the sales to attack the lows here, because like price has been choppy, and then we have a choppy breakout, so we could also get a choppy descent to the downside. Gold. So gold was very, very significant from last week. From where we got into gold, it was gold pushed 570 pips, and we are currently sitting here. So I took out I closed my trade on gold. I didn't wait for the 1.618. So at this point, I'm just waiting for what the dollar to do to make a long-term decision on gold, because 500 and like it's 570 pips is a good amount of pips not to take profit. US oil and UK oil, very bullish opportunity from the last couple of weeks, but currently there is nothing available here. US 30 is very bearish. We could get pullbacks here, but I'm not interested in that. So I think that sums it up. Let's look at BTC. So I took BTC buys from here. If those of you remember, I took this BTC buys from here. Price came here. I took a loss on this trade here, but you see price is building momentum here. So I'll closely watch this and see if I can get an opportunity to get back into this trade. But this is a very steady build up of momentum here. So let me see if there is any question for me. I'm not on IG. I don't know what is happening on IG, but let me check quickly. I can't see the I can't see the stream on IG here. Maybe it will appear later. I don't know why. But yeah. If there's no question, that would be the end of the section. If you have any question, leave it under the video based on where you are streaming from. If it's on YouTube, leave a comment under the video. If it's on Twitter, comment under. And if it's Instagram, when the video is posted and you watch it, you leave a comment under it. I hope you have a peaceful week and good night.